We're doing for those who don't know, Charlotte introduced us. We're doing the Dos Equis College Football Ultimate Road Trip here. We're going all over the country. We are trying to highlight the things we love about all the places we're going to. Most of the places we're going to, almost all of them, we are going to for the first time. That includes Baton Rouge. This is our first trip to LSU. You've been here like 48 hours. You will not shut up about how much you love
I'm obsessed with LSU, and Mark is giving me a hard time because he says I say this about every school we go to.
She literally says that. If you guys watch the show next week, we'll be in College Station at Texas A&M, and she'll be in front of a bunch of Aggies fans, and she'll say, "I love College Station. This is my favorite place."
Here's the thing. I guarantee you I will say I love College Station. I will not love it as much as I love LSU. Every other school has a lot to compete with because of how wonderfully weird this place is.
So explain, because I'm from the Midwest, and I love college sports. I hear about LSU football all the time. The scene here, the tailgating. We're excited to experience a night game tomorrow night.
A Saturday night game at Death Valley.
But if I'm being honest, no one really fully articulates what is awesome about this place. They just say it's awesome. They say it over and over. One thing I knew before I came here is that everybody loved it. Everybody that comes to Baton Rouge loves LSU. The one exception is Ben Simmons, who hated every second he was here. But everybody else loves it. That when they come here, when they visit, they're like, this place is unbelievable. From the mouth of the person who is experiencing it right now, explain to the people at home, what exactly? Articulate your thoughts, Charlotte. Why is it awesome?
I'm interested to hear what you're going to say about why it's awesome, because to me what's awesome is that I've never been somewhere that's like so alive and so ghostly at the same time. Like, I toured Tiger Stadium, and that place is for sure haunted in like the best way. Like, there are dorms there that they built.
They have dorms in the stadium?
They have dorms in the stadium that they built in 1934 because they needed more housing, and they had money for housing, but they didn't have money to add seats to the stadium, so they added dorms in the stadium and put seats on top. Which is just brilliant. And
do they still use them?
No one's been in them for years even, right? So
they're haunted.
Who knows what's going on?
They're haunted.
Yeah, they're haunted. And the stadium itself is like very bare bones. It's steel, it's cement. And it's not trying hard. Like, LSU isn't trying hard to be cool and spooky. Yeah, I mean, check that. Like, it's so inherently what it is. I feel like other colleges, like, put on a whole big deal about being who they are, and LSU is just like, just come see it and you'll understand.
I will say, this place, I have, not to brag, Charlotte, I've been to every state in these United States, and Louisiana, it feels like a different world, and I like, it feels like there's no place in America that's like this place.
No.
And that is something that I appreciate about it. But also, to your point, if you talk about Austin, Texas, the people of Austin will not shut up about how weird. And I apologize, we're going to Austin in a few weeks.
Yeah,
so
Austin, don't listen. Everybody else.
The people of like Portland, Oregon, are like, we have the weirdest. We're so cool how weird we are, and they love like telling everybody how. I feel like the people in Louisiana don't really talk about it. They just let it happen. They're like, come down, have a good time, and you spread the word. We don't care whether you think it's awesome or not. We're gonna be here. We're gonna do us, and that's it. And I love that about it because like there's not like a propaganda machine that's like we have to talk about how awesome Louisiana, Baton Rouge, that doesn't exist.
No,
you just go, you experience it. It's authentic.
And I've never met someone who's gone to Louisiana and come back and been like, not for me. They come back either like a little shook.
Yeah, that was me. I went to the swamp and I saw the gators up front.
Tell the people about the swamp.
I'm so fascinated.
Mark went to a swamp.
I'm so fascinated by. Can I say y'all? Is that allowed?
I've started saying it.
I can say y'all.
Yeah.
All right. I'm so fascinated by how y'all.
There it is.
That sounded natural, didn't it?
No, it's great.
Do not flinch at gators. You don't even flinch even a little bit. Like. This guy T. Earl's his name. I go out on this airboat.
Hold on, I've never seen Mark that happy in my entire life.
Look at this. We're fearing gators marshmallows, and I'm shitting my pants the whole time. I'm being complete. Look at that. Look at this. And everyone else, like all these people are like, they're bored. They're bored. Look at it. Look at. They're all like, they're all bored. This is like a deer, like walking through their backyard. And it blows my mind because you're talking about the duality of Louisiana, that it's both alive and ghostly. That's all I could think as I'm watching these gators is like, they're both like very calm and serene, and they're just going through the water like this. but they also got there's death in the eyes.
Oh yeah.
They're dead.
They'll get
They're dinosaurs.
I want to know though, like,
look at that thing. and no one can. And like, our guide was like, he's taking us out. He at one point, I don't think we have footage of this. He puts his hand down in the water. He starts taunting because the gator's like swimming away. So he's like, let's get that thing back. And he just starts like splashing in the water. I'm talking like this is a 14-foot gator. He's splashing it. The gator comes back. He like hits it on the head. Then the gator starts to come out of the water. He grabs it, kisses it. And I'm watching all this happen, and I was like, are you scared at all? He's like, this is a line he told me. He said, I'm more scared of my wife than I am any gator.
Okay, well, I have some questions about his marriage.
Yeah,
I
know. And so he was unfazed the entire time, and I was like, okay, so maybe they just don't bite you. Like, maybe I think they're going to, like, rip your face off. They must not do that. So I was like, so you've probably never been bitten. He's like, oh, I get bitten all the time. I get bitten. He goes, I'll call my wife and say I'm hospital again and hang up, and she'll meet me at the hospital.
So this is a man who's
like,
hospitalized regularly. And takes people out on tours.
And he has zero fear of gators. And it blows my mind because every second I've been down here, I've tried to like talk to people from the South about it, and they just look at me like I'm crazy. And at a certain point, you start to think you're crazy, Charlotte.
Yeah.
I started to think that I don't know, I don't get it at all. But that was wild, and that was awesome.
Well, I want to know, like, do you guys, is seeing a gator a very a normal thing for you?
If a 15-foot gator walked in the bar right now, what is? How are you guys reacting? You're just looking and then like not caring?
Yeah, is it like you like shoo them away like a bug or? Yeah. Speaking of a bug.
But okay, so help me out.
One.
Help me out with this though. Help me out. I saw the video of the guy. I don't know. It might have been Florida that got the.
We did it! We got it! The bug is gone!
The video a couple days ago that went viral, the guy, I think he was in Florida.
Yeah.
I might have got that wrong. But he had the gator in his yard, and he's taking the trash can, and then he flips the lid over and just bonks it on the head.
I didn't
and then
see
gets
that.
To the trash. So my question is, like, if we're not scared of gators, what was the threat there? Like, why he was scared of gators? I don't know. I can't get a read on it because, like, that video would lead you to believe if a gator's in your yard, like, you got to freak the F out and that, you know? And then these people, like, everyone here is just like,
it's trespassing. I think that's what makes Louisiana and LSU so cool is that y'all, if I may, don't seem scared of anything. Like, there's not a lot of fear here. It's like visitors come and everyone's like, oh, you should watch out. Like, we're fine, but like you should watch your back in not an unfriendly way, just like just a heads up. I mean, I met Mike the Tiger. You met Gators the day that I met Mike the Tiger. And Dr. David Baker, the head veterinarian who is in charge of Mike, and they take this very seriously, he lets us into this enclosure that's like probably, you know, you can usually get 5 feet to Mike with the way that the gates are set up. He opens a gate, and I am right next to Mike. And I'm interviewing, and he goes up to him, and he starts scratching him, and he puts his head next to Mike's head like it's a house cat. And I have to be honest, my mom called me before I was going to meet Mike.
That's just in the heart of campus.
Yeah,
it's got a tiger walking around.
Just a tiger, just like right next to him.
You guys used to have that at the football games, right? They would just like take the tiger to the field.
The tiger used to come.
They had a tiger.
Look at that. Is that the most majestic thing you've ever seen? I mean, so my mom had called me before I met this tiger, and she was like, we have a dog and a cat at my parents' house. I love them. She was like, Charlotte, you're going to want to cuddle the tiger. Don't cuddle with the tiger. And I was like, come on. I'm an adult woman. I know. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to cuddle the tiger. I get in there, and I was like, oh, all I want to do is like snuggle this animal.
Yeah.
And the vet could because he trusted him, but...
So if a tiger walked through the bar right now, are we scared of that? Like, I'm trying to gauge...
Well, so some Tulane students a few years ago, or I guess like 20 years ago, cut the locks.
Really?
Yeah.
On the tiger
before a game, they got hammered. A few guys cut the locks. The tiger got out, and I think they sobered up enough to realize that, like, you shouldn't have a 450-pound predator just like roaming around.
They just have like one padlock that's like rusted that is like, keeping and then all this.
I mean, I think they
cut it with like house scissors.
I think they buffed up the security since then, but they had they got him back in. But I mean, that's a real deal.
It is. That's a great explanation
like Tiger 101
of Louisiana. Is like at all times there's just 1,000 things that can kill you around you, and like no one cares. They're
No.
just here to have a good time.
Yeah.
That's the duality. It's like the guy, like my guide, T. Earl was his name.
Can you explain his name? It was T.
His name was T. Earl. He told me because he's Cajun and his dad was named Earl. Is this something you guys are nodding along? They know where this is going. I might get this wrong, but this is how I remembered it. His dad was named Earl. He was named Earl. And so I guess in Cajun parlance, they don't say junior. They would say petite Earl.
Instead of like little Earl.
Instead of Earl Jr. or little, it's petite Earl. And then this guy was probably 6'9", like 400 pounds. He was like one of the biggest human beings I've ever seen. And he looked me in the eye and he goes, you call me T because if you call me petite, I'll beat your ass, is what he said.
And
I was like, done.
For sure, man.
Done. So you called him T Earl, which I guess is short for petite. Anyway, where was I going with this, Charlotte? What were we talking about?
The no fear, the duality.
Oh, yeah, he said he was scared of snakes, but not gators.
Here's a man who gets bitten by gators regularly for a job saying he's not scared of snakes.
And he's not. It just blew my mind. I don't know. But yeah.
Well, it's interesting because like that's the vibe of LSU also, which is like there are 56 universities that have tigers as their mascot, including Auburn, which
Tiger Bowl.
Yeah, tomorrow's the Tiger Bowl.
Tiger versus
Tiger. But
Auburn
LSU is the only one with a live tiger, and I think that says everything you need to know about LSU.
By the way, I think Auburn uses like this logo, and they just do different colors. Yeah. I think Missouri does too. Yeah. Whoa. There we go.
What? It's a war eagle, but it's a tiger. It's all very confusing. Do you know? I don't know.
I feel like the only way we can get everybody in agreement is just to say Buck Fama, and like that's the one thing that would get everyone.
Also, my prediction tomorrow is that the Tigers are going to win. So
there we go. There it is.
I'm going to be right.
What else, Charlotte? We wanted to do an audience participation. Obviously, that's out the window. Are we even still straight? Like they cut these cameras.
Yeah, we're good. We're
20
on.
minutes ago.
No, we're on. We're going.
That's what they want you to believe, Charlotte.
Well,
we're
I'm going to believe it, Mark. I'm an optimist.
Say whatever you want.
Have
some fun.
We can still do it. We can just repeat the questions.
Yeah.
If there were any questions that you guys had for us about how we're experiencing LSU.
What? Yeah. I'm
mean,
trying to think of
because
other things
I
to ask them.
also.
Here's a question.
Yes.
We're talking about duality a lot. What is the duality of the song Neck? That it is both the official, maybe unofficial, but we'll call it official. The official anthem of LSU is the song Neck that I am very loosely
there are
aware
bad
of.
words in it.
But also, it's like the anthem of LSU, but also, as our crew was telling us on the drive over, it's literally banned and you're not allowed to play it or else you get fined.
Yeah.
Explain that to me. How can it both be like the school song and also be illegal at the same time? I'm confused by that. Oh.
Yeah, you don't like curse words on television. But it's understood among students that like this is what
but they don't.
do.
They don't actually play it in the song. They like cut the feed and it's just the students saying it. Is that what happens? Or they'll play it in the song? To add the curse.
I see.
So for everyone at home, she said that Neck was a song that the band created,
which I did not know.
And then they had no words. It was just they would just play the music as a marching band will at a sporting event. And then there's a certain section of the song that the student section decided we will add a certain vulgar saying. Google that as well. A lot of Googling for the people at home.
Yeah. So, and that's it. It's the duality of LSU. It's
so the band can't play it? Like they're...
So no matter what, the students are gonna.
So the students will say it even if they play like Sweet Caroline. They'll just like say like. No, by the way.
What is another tradition on game day that you guys missed the most when we couldn't have this? Because like it's so cool that we're back. It's an SEC game tomorrow. What are you like? What is a moment that you can't wait for that's going to give you chills? Calling Baton Rouge. I'm getting hyped up hearing
They
that.
play 4
Jesse
notes.
just said that the band plays 4 notes as they come down the hill, and everyone just loses their mind.
Yeah.
What are you most excited for?
I don't know. I don't know a lot about it. Like I said, like when I hear about LSU in the night games at LSU, it's always just like a vague like everyone just kind of shakes their head and they're just like, whew, whew. Like this happened to our Uber driver. I got in the car and he's like, "What are you in town for?" Or no, he didn't even ask that. He was just like, "Where are you guys from?" I said, "I live in LA now. This is my first trip to Baton Rouge." And he's like, you can see him scratching his head. He's like, "Why would you come here, not New Orleans?" And so he's like, What are you doing? Whatever. And the moment I said we're going to the game, he just goes, "Woo, woo."
A Saturday night in Death
And I
Valley.
was like, what does that mean? He's like, "Well, you're about to find out." That's all he said. And I was like, I still don't know what that means. So I'm just excited to experience it because no one really explains it, but I kind of have an idea. I've been to football games, Charlotte. I understand, but having people explain to us today that. The problem with the night game, and this game kicks off at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. local time. The problem with these, this is about as late as they kick off, I assume.
Right? That's the latest.
It's almost too late because apparently a lot of people go too hard, and that Coach O has had to put out a PSA that's like, "Don't get too drunk too soon. We need you there for kickoff. Pace yourself.
Pace yourselves.
Pace yourself." So I'm excited about that because, again, like the way the people work down here is like, as people are telling me this, they're not saying it as like a propaganda thing where they're like, "Be sure to report to the world that we party." It was just a statement of fact. It was like, this is going to happen tomorrow, and you need to know about it.
It's like, just
that's all.
Fair warning,
Yeah.
There are going to be people who are going to go to bed instead of going to the football game. I'm very much going to make it to the football game because I today got to hang out with the Lady Tigers. And they did the LSU dance team, top 3 in the country. They did a dance.
Hold on, top 3 in the country? What does that mean?
It means they're the top 3 collegiate dance team. They compete, again, it's a huge deal. Like, they're national competition.
Do they have, like, a sign-up that says top 3, though? Like,
I mean, it's like they've won in the top 3 for the past few years. Like, they're athletes. We did strength training today. They went through their whole pregame routine for, 3 hours. It was amazing, and they did the dance that they're going to do to Call in Baton Rouge, and I love that song, which is weird because I grew up in Boston and, whatever, but, the dance they did made me even that more psyched to hear it in the stadium. I'm
glad that Call in Baton Rouge is well received here.
Me
I
too.
feel like people would hate it here. That's what I would have assumed. I would have assumed that everyone was like, "That's this song again." Like, how do Boston people feel about that shipping up the Boston song?
Obsessed with it.
Really?
Everyone in Boston.
Is that all it takes? You just mention.
You put on the first notes of Dropkick Murphys or the first scene of The Departed, and everyone in Boston just loses their mind. I saw a guy watching The Departed on a plane a few seats in front of me a few weeks ago, and I got fired up. It's real. So I think Call in Baton Rouge is a similar vibe.
I have a great idea to start a band where all we do is sing songs about places, and then the song becomes big at that place, and then, that's it.
And then you just sing that song 5 times at the place.
Top 3 dance team, huh? I don't know. I feel like it's a little participation trophy, for being honest.
Oh,
top 3.
That is garbage, Mark. That's absolute garbage. The whole time I talked to them, I was like, "What's the misconception about this dance team?" And they're like, "That we're not athletes."
No, I think they're athletes. I just think that, are we hanging top 3 banners, or are we hanging top 1 banners? I don't know.
I think that if you're trying to describe how good a college dance team is, and they're a million in the country, being in the top 3 is a good way to say how good it is.
If the football team put up a thing in Tiger Stadium,
they don't have a banner that says top 3. It's just a way of describing how good they are.
One thing I'm excited about, I thought about this tomorrow, is the food, because I am a Midwestern white man that was raised on a slice of white bread, baked potato with maybe a little butter on it,
salt,
a piece of meat with 0 seasoning,
no salt,
maybe salt, maybe. Let's not get crazy. I get a little too spicy, too much salt to get it spicy. I grew up with the blandest palate you could possibly imagine, and
I'm shocked.
We have already, in the time we've been down here, we've tried to go to a couple local spots where we went to a place down closer to New Orleans. They had, everything on the menu was crawfish this, gumbo that, jambalaya, all that stuff. And it's been overwhelming already, but I'm excited tomorrow to go to a tailgate and just find the wildest stuff possible and try it. Because I'm probably going to throw up. I'm probably going to throw up a lot.
And that's good content.
It's going to be fear factor.
And that's the content that we want. One of our lovely LSU students from Tiger TV have been helping us out all week. Huge shout out, Tiger TV. We love you guys. Asked you how you did with spicy food.
Not great. Not too great.
So I think that it's going to be an interesting day for you, Mark. I hope you make it to the game not for alcohol reasons, but food reasons.
Yeah. No, I'll like be hugging a toilet and everybody be like, this guy's drunk. And I'm like, I haven't had any alcohol.
Like,
I had gumbo earlier. And like, I'm just... Yeah, I up until like a few years ago, I wouldn't even try anything. I'm now willing to try stuff, but spicy food wrecks me. And I'm talking like if I ask somebody something spicy, and they pause for even the slightest, like, it's a no for me. You know?
So
like if I'm like, is this spicy? A lot of people will be like, no, it's fine. It's fine. And I'm like, all right, it's fine. I can't do that. But I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I'm gonna eat whatever they put in front of me tomorrow, and we'll see what happens.
Tomorrow seems like it's gonna be a very masochistic day for you. So in order to help Mark achieve his masochistic dreams, what is the spiciest thing you think that he'll find at a tailgate? What is that?
A what? What is it?
Boudin.
Boudin?
Random meat and rice. Random
In a
meat.
sausage. In a sausage.
Random meat and rice in a sausage.
Like alligator.
Is the rice in the sausage?
Yes. It's rice in the sausage. Sausage.
The rice is coming from inside the sausage.
Yes.
That is.
Oh my god.
And so that can be very spicy. All right, so now you know what to look out for.
And they just. Oh
What's
my
the
god.
least spicy thing he's gonna eat?
Anybody got white bread?
White bread.
A slice of Wonder Bread I can try?
Fried chicken
Fried
from
chicken.
Popeyes.
I'll get some fried. Yeah. What if I like? You know what I should do?
What?
Is like get some fried chicken, and just pretend like it's like fried something else, and just be like, look at this. I'm going in, and I take a bite.
You're like, look at all this alligator
Oh
I'm
my
eating,
God.
and it's like the Chick-fil-A wrappers off to the side, and you're like, yeah. I mean, I'm praying for you. I can't wait to see how that goes.
It'll be something. I'm excited to just find. Just because like the restaurants I'm going to, the place we went yesterday, high school me, I literally would have walked out of the restaurant. I couldn't find a single thing that I would have eaten. Not a single thing. Like it was just
How did
crawfish
you get
soup
over
and
yourself?
I don't know. I just started trying it, but my point was like this was a restaurant, Charlotte. This is like a place that's like trying to do business, or whatever. I can't imagine the wild stuff that like people make just for themselves, you know, that I'm going to find out in these RVs tomorrow.
Well, it's
so that's
crazy
what I'm excited
when we
about.
were driving by the parade grounds and where the RVs set up, and people on Friday at like 5 p.m. are setting up, ready to go. It is dedication that I really, really respect.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to find a lot of fun stuff tomorrow. I also want to hear how loud the stadium gets, because this is a stadium that was so loud that it had the earthquake game.
The earthquake. That was against Auburn, right?
Yeah. And if this is if this game were a week later, it would be exactly the 33rd anniversary of the earthquake game. Yep.
Wow.
And that was when the crowd was so loud that it registered on a seismograph. So I wonder, does LSU just have like seismographs ready to go for every game? Are they just like measuring it?
Yeah. They that's like the reporters have the big thermometer at most places, and they're like, look how hot it is down here on the field. At LSU, they got the what does that even look like?
Know.
What does a seismograph look like?
I think of it, and I think of like a scale. But
If
that
a
can't be
seismograph
right.
walked through this bar right now, how scared of you? If an earthquake happened, how scared of you?
I'd be more scared of the earthquake than the gator. But
Let's
not
talk
the
about
seismograph.
a little bit about the game.
Yes.
A little bit. Just a
Let's
skosh.
just touch on it.
Auburn, where does Auburn register on a rivalry scale for LSU? Not as bad as Bama. It's top three. Hang the top. They love the top three.
Okay, so Bama, Auburn.
Bama's one. Who else is on that list? Florida, maybe.
Bama, Florida, Auburn.
Yeah, Bama, Florida, Auburn. All right, that's good to know. Auburn hasn't won here. I learned this today. Auburn
Ever?
has not won in Baton Rouge since 1999. 1999.
Wow.
Now, here's my question.
Were you guys even born in 1999? No? Oh, God, I feel very old.
All right, we're done here.
Yeah, okay.
My question to you, since you're not an LSU fan, I'm curious how you take it. If I tell you Auburn hasn't won here since 1999, this is the first SEC game that LSU fans will be at in 2 years, basically.
Yes.
Does that put too much? If you're an LSU fan, would you feel confident about that? You're like, they haven't won here since 1999. Or, Charlotte, is that too much pressure that you're like, oh no, it's all lining up that this is going to be the year?
I think if I were a true LSU fan, based on everything I've observed and everything we've been talking about, I would feel so insanely confident. I would probably feel too confident. I'm getting some looks that say I'm wrong. No, they're all scared.
Yeah, I think it's because these people have watched LSU football this year and last year, and they're like...
But this is the first game, I don't know, Auburn's coming off a loss at Penn State, so they've lost, on the road. They're on the road again. I feel like maybe if you believe enough, I don't know, maybe I'm just like
But
way
Charlotte,
too
when you hear LSU football, you're thinking of Joe Burrow smoking the cigar.
No,
you're
I'm thinking of this year, I'm thinking of Max Johnson. I'm thinking of it,
Your quarterback's named Max Johnson, by the way. Does that get talked about around here? Like, the name is Max think about it, Charlotte. Max Johnson. His name is literally...
My mind didn't go there, but I'm
glad
that
mind went there
yours
immediately.
did, Mark.
His name is Max. The Max... Okay,
Yep.
never mind. I'm belaboring the point. Auburn might be starting Finley, the quarterback at Auburn, that might be starting on Saturday. Used to play here last year. Another interesting wrinkle we'll keep an eye on.
Well, so something you were talking about on the way over was that Joe Burrow, everyone's favorite LSU boy, was at Ohio State.
He was in Ohio.
How do you feel about Joe Burrow going and then after being at LSU, and like how would you think that LSU fans would feel about Finley if at Auburn now?
Oh yeah, like if he blew up and won the Heisman and all that, like Joe Burrow did, and
how did you feel?
Led Auburn to a national title.
How did you feel?
I didn't feel great. Watching Joe Burrow be awesome, but he graduated from Ohio State, so there's that. He'll always be a Buckeye for that reason. Also, he plays for an Ohio team now, so I think we could share him. Like he got what he needed out of LSU. They love him down here. We love him in Ohio. It's just,
How do you guys feel about Finley?
There we go. That's all that needs to be said.
You still love him. Once a tiger, always a tiger. He's literally still a tiger because he's at Auburn. Well, do you have any game predictions?
I think LSU's run game's horrible. We know this.
Okay.
I don't want to even think about trying to break it down in a player, coach, schematic level. I think it comes down to Auburn has not won here since 1999. The fans have not been in Tiger Stadium for an SEC game in 2 years. It is a night game. All the stars are aligned. What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, no! Here's the thing. We've got the curse, right? We finally broke the curse in Oklahoma when Oklahoma won when we were at the game. Yeah. We're not so sure that we're not cursed, especially at LSU, which is a place that feels a little ghostly and witchy. So we apologize in advance if Mark's
I think this is a great spot for the curse to die, though. We get like a voodoo doll of some sort built for us.
This is where the curse dies.
I had one more question for all the 7 of you that are left that can hear us. There we go. Free beer. Hook it up.
We love free beer. There you go.
There we go.
There are more than 7 of you. Come on, Mark.
My final question for the fans here. Joe Burrow's obviously beloved. Who's number 2 on your list of like? If I don't know why I keep using walking through this bar. It's like, if Joe Burrow walks in, it shuts the place down. Obviously, say it's not Joe Burrow. Who would be number 2? Who's the number 2 person you're excited about? Coach O? Just Coach O? Jamar Chase for this crowd, for like the younger.
How does Odell He paid for so when the band played next,
that's genius.
Because Odell asked them to. Odell paid the fine, and then he wasn't allowed back on campus. And then he got.
What about Shaq? Shaq's here a lot. Does he live here? No, but there we go. His son's on the basketball team. Yeah. So he's around a lot. All right. Well, there you go.
All right, well,
that's it.
I think we'll leave you with this. We're feeling good about LSU. We're not going to jinx it.
Yep.
But it's Saturday night in Death Valley.
Saturday night in Death Valley, I was told a lady on the plane I sat next to, Baton Rouge native, lived here her whole life, she said, she told me that it never rains on Saturday night in Death Valley.
Never. Chance
It's
of
impossible.
Chance of rain.
Never. So if in fact it rained, if there's like rain at kickoff, I'm leaving. I'm getting on a plane. I'm leaving because I know all these people are going to be looking for me. They want my head on a stick for. They're going to want my head on a stick.
It's not going to rain, and that hype video is going to get us all fired up. Let's go Tigers! Thank you LSU. Thank you Freds. Thank you Dos Equis. You've been amazing.
Dos Equis. There we go. Cheers.
Go Tigers!